But strangely enough, there is left in the world today an area as big as the United States
that's never been seen by a human being.
The best is yet to come.
Nobody could have predicted back in 1986 that in 30 some odd years from then that there would be something called the internet that would bring all this information to the tip
Houston,
of your fingers.
we have a call.
We destroyed that technology.
People should not be walking around with masks.
That stuff is flat.
There's your flu
Last year.
Here's your flu
This year.
Literally doesn't
All right,
even
ladies and gentlemen,
exist.
welcome back to the Hibbeler Effect. Today, we got, and I've had requests for it the last couple weeks. Where's Johnny? Where's Johnny? Johnny Giampapa. Welcome to the Hibbeler Effect, brother.
I'm excited to be here, man. How you guys doing? It's been a while, but
yeah,
back in action now.
Hell
Excited.
yeah, man. Welcome. Obviously I want to thank you for being a part of not only Level, but Level with me. And just being a good friend for many years now of mine. Most people, I'm sure a lot of my audience knows that we're boys and stuff. Like, we're friends, we hang out, we do stuff. But for those that don't know, yeah, Johnny's a great guy. He's the king. I'll tell you right now, he's a tattoo artist. He's the king of Orange County. If you're anywhere near Orange County or outside of Orange County, please stop getting tattoos with these fucking busters. Go see Johnny, Blind Nobility, in Orange County, and it's a great spot. I love the vibe over there. His artists are great. Everyone has a good time. How long have you been?
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, how long have you been inking, man? How long have you been doing this now?
It's been about 14, 15 years. I've been tattooing now.
Hell yeah.
I opened up the studio here in Orange County about 11 years now since we opened up here.
Wow. Congrats, man.
Yeah, thank you.
That goes a long way, man. Small businesses, especially through the pandemic, and just in general, it's awesome.
Yeah, luckily the pandemic didn't really affect us too much. Thankful for that. I was looking at opening up another location here in Orange County.
Nice.
It kind of put those plans on hold, but now we're looking at possibly opening up another location in Malibu right now. So some exciting stuff in the works, man.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, Malibu, they got some bread out there, so that's great, man. And trust me, if you're in Malibu, that's a good bet for you, man. You'll be successful. You guys got that vibe and that energy, and you'll be able to take on the clientele. You'll be able to take it on. But yeah, so with Level was, for those that don't know, I was not even in the mindset or really had the ability to travel and film my own stuff back even when Level came out. Level was shot with your buddy, right? A videographer,
Right.
Johnny's scenes and everything, and they sent it in to me. That's kind of how Level was for the most part. Everything was just sent in to me, and then I put it together. I couldn't really control Santos's Skype quality and
His audio.
yeah, I mean, again, it's not about settling. It's about, this is what
That was grassroots, ground level shit, man.
talk about a grassroots film. Just a cult, and I'll call it a cult classic. People know what cult means. They need to go buy a fucking dictionary. But at the same time, the coolest part about it was with Level with me, it's like we got an opportunity to actually come together and figure out what's gonna happen. So I was like maybe halfway done with the film, maybe less. And I knew Johnny, obviously, from the first trailer and the second. Everybody knew Johnny was going to be in this one. But it was great timing because I kind of had some topics that were kind of changing, and I'm like, damn, the film's changing. And Johnny was like the perfect piece of the puzzle for me. So I can't thank you enough, man, because I'm sure if you watch the film, you'll understand. Like you were filling in some gaps for me, whether you knew it or not, bro.
Yeah, man. We had a lot of fun doing that. I had a lot of fun doing that. And for all you guys that don't know, we actually filmed that at my house.
Yeah.
The background was actually the Los Angeles mountains in the background.
Yeah, it's a beautiful view. And it's funny too. It's kind of, I don't know if this was, it's pretty natural that we made that decision, because I remember I came over and I'm like, all right, where are we? Like, I didn't know where we were going to go, kind of like, we can go somewhere, we can go do something, go go to another spot? I mean,
Yeah,
in
we were
Cali.
trying to figure out where to shoot it, and I'm like, dude.
Nah, it was kind of not even like you just open those doors. He's got these giant, what is that, French doors or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Just whip them open. You see this fucking view, and it's like we've seen this view before. I've been to his house, but you're just like, oh shit. Now, of course, my dumbass,
Like that light bulb moment.
yeah, well, my dumbass, it's one of those like not thinking clearly, nor am I an actual 20-year vet with directing. I should have had better lighting for you, that's for sure. But it comes with time. It comes with growth.
We were trying to beat the sun and shit. Too.
We were. That sun was moving across our sky. It seemed like very fast that day, like we're losing time or something.
And like I'm trying to lean back, like making sure the sun doesn't hit me.
I keep forgetting, bro. Yes. And there's probably scenes where you're like all the way back, and then one scene you're like you have to go up on top of it. But yeah, in general though, I'll come no matter what project I'm working on next, I'll come better equipped. I'm going to try each time at least.
Well, the films keep getting better, man. I mean, this level with me is just insane, man. And all the reviews and all the buzz you've been getting. I mean, this is obviously clearly the best one so far. It's just amazing, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I hope so. I hope it is for everybody. And if it's not, if it's not your favorite out of the three, that still doesn't really hurt me in a sense. If you're just say your favorite was the second or your favorite was the original, that I still made those. So like, I'm still grateful and honored that you like something I made. So, but yeah, I agree. I mean, this one is getting good reviews and comments. Besides, of course, the typical Glober IMDb attack where they leave these 1-star paragraphs that has nothing to do with my film. I remember the Next Level last year, bro. Someone put, as we know, Eric Dubé was not narrating that one. I didn't have narration in last year's film. Okay? Right. But there's a 1-star comment that's like, Eric Dubé's a piece of crap, blah, 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 blah. He's saying all this stuff in this film. And I'm like, yeah, he's not. He's not in this.
He's not even in the film.
But of course, that's like the first review people saw for a while. It's just the way it is. But
and in the first film, they were like, they were like leaving 1-star reviews and like giving us like different names and shit, changing our names on there.
I forgot. I'm sure that was not Professor Dave, whoever, one of those clowns. I'm sure they put something together. All I gotta do is they'll probably have like little blog apps with like their gay audience, and they like do like blog selfies or something, and then they here's instructions on how to rate an IMDb film, and let's fuck it up. I remember Level was like 7 or 8 stars for a while, and then it just went down to like 2 in like a week, and I'm like, what just happened? But when you read the comments, oh my god, it's like, if you don't like the film, that's fine. I got a couple 5s and 6s, like, hey, you missed the point, or I don't agree with this. Okay, that's a real bad review, right? That's real. I don't mind that. There's nothing wrong with that. I could take criticism.
But 99% of those weren't that.
Yeah, no, not at all. It's always like some pre-bot paragraph.
Some fucking NASA fan, fucking Glober, just fucking angry at Flat Earth, so he wants to go leave a fucking bad review.
Yeah, I know. I wish there was a way to verify it, but there's not. It's not. They can't really be a verified review. Anybody can go on there. Oh yeah, but sorry, going back to Level, the IMDb review process. I remember when I first did it, like Johnny said, they're just so they changed everyone's name, right? So Eddie Bravo was Self, right? Johnny Giampapa, Self. Eric Dubé narrator, right? So everyone had their title, and then all of a sudden it'd be like Eric Dubé, nut clown jerk off, and Tanner Stewart, Texas queer. Or it's just all these things. I forgot what yours was. Like
there was a hot dog in there somewhere.
Hot dog tattooed dick boy. I don't know. It was the weirdest shit. I don't know what, and it was like every week. So I go in there and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I go change it back to self, narrator, self. And the next week it'd be all changed again to, cum queen. And I'm like, all right, man. I'm like, well, what the fuck? What am I? And then I started getting reviews on the film before the film was released. How? I don't know how that happened. I got a bunch of 1 stars. The film wasn't even out yet, but now Level was fun, but it was like, again, it was kind of like out of my hands, out of my control. I can only edit parts that I need, right, for the vision. Now Level with me was such a smooth transition for especially me and Johnny, it was just like we had so much fun, and like we just kept like, all right, let's shoot that again. Like, let's shoot it again. I'll ask you differently, you answer it differently, and like you just take as many takes as possible. And you did a brilliant job, man. I got a lot of good feedback just from your sections of the film and explaining things. And my hat is off to you, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And you did a great job as well. And I really loved where you took this film with the whole Challenger explosion. I mean, a lot
and we
of
got Judith. We finally got guys. We got Judith.
Yes.
Let's celebrate. We finally got her. We've been trying to get her for so
That was
long.
exciting when we got that, man. We got that.
Yep. One more step in the direction of copycats. I want these people held responsible. I want you to approach them. I want you to question them. I want you to do anything you got to do. I'm not going to say be physical. I'm just saying do anything you have to do to get their attention.
You need to get these people on film, and question them on film.
On film every time at the grocery store. I don't care where the fuck they are. They're
Who
liars.
cares? Yeah.
No, I mean, you're right though, Johnny. And for those that don't know, I believe, this show is going to be airing a little bit after we're already there. But I will tell my YouTube friendly audience while we're still on YouTube friendly topics that me and Johnny will be traveling to Houston this Saturday. So that'll be what is it called? The Lost History or
Alternative History / Tartaria convention with Martin Liedke.
Flat Earth British man, love him. Flat thumbs
from Wales. Yeah, I love Martin, man. He's such a cool guy.
No, he's gonna put on a good
his books.
Oh yeah.
He just comes out with some amazing stuff, man. So super excited about that.
Yeah, he's got some juicy stuff, man. As I hear, I'm going to be filming for something, name to be determined, project to be determined, but this is
something in the works.
Something in the works, and this is the point. Like I probably would have went either way, even though I'm humble and honored that Eddie Bravo invited me to a black belt 10th Planet private event, black belts only, and a lot of high class, high strategic people names are there, and he invited me today actually to come Saturday to that. And I was touched because I'd probably be stared at, but there's probably no one else there that could be there that's not a black belt. He invited me, and I'm honored. So I want to thank him on the air. But no, we will be in Houston because this is going to be a project, like a film. Like I'm going to go there with the mindset of level with me and film for a documentary on this topic. Obviously, it's not going to be called Tartaria or anything even similar. I'm gonna have to come up with some unique name, of course. Right. But because this is much bigger. It's much bigger than Tartaria and that civilization. Right. There's so much more, as you know. But go ahead.
And we know that name has been
hijacked,
kind of overused, and it's kind of just envelops the whole alternative timeline, alternative history, that actually Anatoly Fomenko is the original guy who did all that research. I believe 30, 40 years ago, he did a lot of research. He had a team he's a Russian mathematician. He had a team of over 1,000 people, and he created a new timeline and said all history that we've been taught has been falsified. And this the new timeline that he created, with backing it up with tons of evidence, now 30, 40 years later,
resurfacing, right?
It's resurfacing, and people are calling it Tartaria. So
well, now in this new created timeline by him that he's was speaking of back then, were people like Copernicus, Galileo, were these people mentioned in this timeline, or do you think that's a part? Those I guess you call them Freemasonic scientists of the past mathematicians of the past, were they created, in your opinion, based off of this new information?
I think, I think all history that we've been taught, for the most part, was created in the later part of the 19th century to even the earlier part of the 20th century. So, characters like Napoleon and Copernicus and a lot of these other characters,
even Columbus, who knows? You just never
know. Columbus too, same thing.
Yeah.
These characters were created. 1,000 years was added to the timeline. And
that's
there was,
nuts, man.
Christian history as we know it has been completely falsified. Most of the world, up until the late 1800s, were speaking either English or Arabic. Those were the two main languages that people spoke. And Latin is just Arabic backwards. So it's kind of weird how they did that. But yeah, the history as we've been taught has been completely made up and falsified.
I totally agree. I would think that truthers would know this by now. And for me, I could be wrong, but when I hear stuff from flat earthers alike that bring up to me like Robotham, like, hey man, he was real. He did flat earth tests in the 1800s stuff. Yeah, that could be real. I don't know. I wasn't there. That's all. He could be real. That's fine. But wouldn't it be just like the people that run our education systems and created these lies? Wouldn't it be like them to create one flat earth scientist from back in the day, or a few, but especially Robotham, and give them a 6-mile test and call that evidence? 6 miles, like, like really, we could do 20-mile tests right now and Globers would be like, oh yeah, no, it's not, that doesn't prove anything. It's like, so why were they debating 6 miles back in the day? It seems like it's like a weak point to make in the whole science field. And you got all these made up other heliocentric priests, right? These other Masons coming in, mathematicians that are against that 6-mile test and stomping on it, right? With all this other weird magical shit that they teach all the kids. So it's like, for me, I'm not ruling it out that some of that was legit. It's just, based on all this new information coming out and how it seems like all the history they created and made up, why would I discount anything, including a flat earth scientist from 18 something with a 6-mile test? It's like, okay, that could be real, but wouldn't that be like them to, like, we have to tell the truth, right? We have to tell the truth somehow. Give them a 6-mile test. It's hilarious. In my opinion, at least. I don't know.
Yeah. I think anything prior to the late 1800s, mid to late 1800s, I think we just are better off saying that we don't know. Yeah, because anything before photography is just a lot of questions, a lot of
crapshoot, man. I mean, you're taking the word of those that create the articles. And
even with photography, we have a lot of situations like the Civil War and the Crimean War, where it just seems to be a lot of people standing around that were given uniforms that are way too big for them, with muskets and other cannons that have cannonballs that are way too big for the cannon, sitting around, and it looks like a display more than anything,
like a
stage set. Exactly.
Same thing when Martin shows all those old videos of the cars and horse and buggies kind of going in and out. It looks orchestrated. It looks like it's just like no one acts like you don't. That's not what how it would be. Like it's like they just threw 100 people into this little tight area and said action, and everybody walk and turn and everybody looks at the camera. It's like, I don't know, man. I get this feeling of they could have rehearsed all this, recorded all this for this purpose, to be like, oh, look, there's a video of it. So, there was horse and buggy back then, surrounded by giant castles all around them with no explanation of how those were built. You just see a bunch of people on horse and buggies. And then obviously, as you know, Johnny, the Western and the bullshit behind the Western and the Indians and the movement. And there was all a bunch of characters they threw out there for a tour and all that shit.
Those cities, San Francisco and Denver and Los Angeles, all these cities were already there.
Yeah.
They were from a prior civilization, and we just found them. We've basically most of the cities in the U.S. were already here, and I think hence why they call it Freemasonry.
Yeah, and I've said that too. And you know what people say to me when I say that? They go, "Oh, dude, the Freemasons were here way before all that stuff." And I'm like, in my head, I go, so you're still trusting their history story?
Yeah.
At that point, right? You have evidence of Freemasons in 1494. No, you don't. Because guess who would have created that story? The Masons in the 1800s. I'm just saying. They probably would have created stories of themselves in the past.
And then falsified documents, created documents. Yeah, they do that. They've done that too.
So hard to do, apparently. But again, it's like with a dome. Oh, there's a glass dome above us. I'm like, yeah. And you know what? They go, well, the encyclopedia. I'm like, the one source that you want to bring to the table right now, the only source you have is a government issued encyclopedia mentioning it. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's go write our name on the wall over there. I get it though. And I always say, with a glass dome over our head, and we're trapped in here, I can never rule out everything 100%. I just can't, because I don't fucking know, but it doesn't resonate true with me at all. That's all.
Right.
It doesn't resonate. What about you, Johnny? How do you feel about that shit? It's like one of those topics now where flat earthers are actually, to me, we're getting along about it. We can agree to disagree about stuff. Either way, we don't know. But what's your take on that whole?
Psyop. To me, it's a psyop. There is no area on the outer ice wall where the sky meets the ground. It just doesn't happen. If the one thing that might be a possibility is some sort of electromagnetic force field.
Sure. Yeah.
That you need some sort of technology or ship or like a craft to pass through. I could get on board with that possibly. But as far as a glass dome hitting the ground somewhere on the outer ice wall, it doesn't happen.
I agree.
Yeah, the firmament to me is a level plane above us.
Level ocean, like a level whatever. It could even be, again, we don't know. It could be two circles, a circle plane of Earth and a circle of, or it could be squares. I don't care what there's no shape. It's a realm we're in, and water's level above and below us. And I totally agree. If that's what you're saying, I totally agree.
Well, we know from accounts in the past from sailors and other people that have traveled through the ice wall, which tells you right there that there is no glass dome, and because they wouldn't be able to pass right through. There's from what I understand, there's 3 or 4 gates, and they have different names. One of them is called the Serpent's Gate, and there's I can't think of the names right now, but there's a few other gates that lead to the second ring, where there's more continents, more land, more water, more oceans in that second ring. And there's sailors and other people that have gone to those lands, like Magellan was one of them. where he had passed through the gate into the outer ring and come back and relayed that information. And supposedly, once he comes back and relays that information, then the kings and queens of different countries start sending hundreds or thousands of ships to these outer continents to make colonies. So
again, and why would they even be speaking about this stuff? Whether it be Iron Republic, Worlds Beyond the Poles, Smoky God, and any book in the 1800s, they're verified real.
Right.
Whether even you think, even if there's something in your head that goes, oh, you know what? I bet you that's just a bullshit book. Tons of books, multiple accounts of this, stories, firsthand eyewitness testimony. And if you can say as a flat earther, oh, that's all bullshit. Okay, I'll give you that. It's all bullshit. Let me say real quick. But they were still speaking about stuff that we're talking about now, or we have now, technology that we have now that we never heard of back then. How are they talking about flat screen TVs on the wall? How are they talking about things that sound like they had the internet, sound like they had Wi-Fi, Bluetooth stuff, electric cars and hovering this? And how are they? It's like, so that's all fantasy, but now this non-popular book, the Sony or someone reads it and goes, we should have a flat screen TV. Like or did they already have this technology? People are talking about it, then it's been hidden and resold to the public for probably way more expensive than you can ever imagine. Remember when HDTVs came out, they were like $3,000 for this fat fucking thing. Yeah. It's a lot of money, guys. So again, these are the shipments and trading that we could be doing with outer lands for a long time. They could be coming up with that technology. But go ahead. I know you're going to say something.
And we know that, I mean, the number one reason why they lie about the shape of the earth is to hide more land. That's the number one reason. Yeah, they want to hide the creator, and that's a big reason too. But
yeah,
that's big. They want to keep us trapped in the chicken pen.
Yeah, whether it's a snow globe or a globe, you're trapped. There's 7 continents. Shut the fuck up. Go ahead and talk about your little flat earth stuff on YouTube. We'll just put a Wikipedia box. No big deal. Talk about it, but you're not going anywhere. You're not. You can't. You're not going to be able to change the world with this model. It's like in the sense, but once you start talking about more land, as I mentioned time and time again, it's pure speculation. We can't go there and check, but because we can't go there and check, red flags after big
red flag. And the fact that they were going there and coming back with these, accounts like the Iron Republic.
Yep.
The story of a politician who got tired of everyday life and got a crew together, bought a ship and sailed straight for that 60th parallel south and wanted to go to Antarctica. And he sailed to Antarctica, found an opening in the ice wall, sailed through, came out to another sea, and landed on a continent where there was already a human civilization that was more advanced. And they actually lived there for a few years, and they decided to come back. They came back and they told their story. They landed in Florida and told their story to the world, and it was in newspapers all around the world.
Yeah, and then it was buried, covered up, hidden, and resurfaced. It's resurfacing now because we're in a war, and information war, spiritual war, and the truth shall prevail. The truth will prevail, regardless of the results, guys. The truth is going to prevail because it's stronger, and it's backed by love, and love wins. So, but as you guys know, you see that there's Johnny on my show, right? Yeah. So we're going to go get fucking dirty over on Rockfin and talk some fucking shit. So thank you everyone for joining me.
We can only do so much on YouTube.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Thank you guys for joining us on the YouTube version of Hibbeler Effect. See you over on Rockfin, guys.
Peace.